Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and dreamers, today I want to share with you something powerful, something timeless, something that comes from the wisdom of the ancient Stoics. It is about building your life in silence, focusing on yourself, and protecting your energy in a noisy, distracted world. The title is simple: 7 Stoic Rules to Focus on Yourself and Stay Silent, Build Your Life Now. The Stoics believed that true strength is not shown in shouting the loudest, competing for attention, or proving yourself to others. True strength lies in discipline, focus, and the ability to keep building your life quietly while the world around you is distracted by noise. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Focus is not selfish, it is power. Let me take you through 7 Stoic rules that can transform your life if you live by them. Rule number 1, control what you can, let go of what you cannot. Most people waste their lives fighting battles they cannot win, stressing over things outside their control. The Stoics taught us that peace begins when you focus only on what's in your hands, your actions, your mindset, your discipline. Stop worrying about the opinions of others. Stop complaining about circumstances and start mastering your response. That is where your true power lies. Rule number 2, guard your energy and remain silent. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every opinion needs to be shared. And not every battle needs to be fought. When you remain silent, you conserve your energy. You don't owe the world explanations for your dreams, your goals, or your plans. Let your results do the talking. While others are busy showing off, stay quiet, build in private, and let your success echo in public. Rule number 3, discipline is greater than motivation. Motivation fades, but discipline stays. If you want to build your life, stop waiting for inspiration and start cultivating discipline. Wake up early, stick to your routine, and work on your craft every single day. The Stoics knew that freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom comes from self-mastery. Discipline is the silent builder of empires. Rule number 4, learn to detach from distractions. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Social media, gossip, comparisons. But the Stoic path is about detachment. If something does not serve your growth, your peace, or your future, you must let it go. Silence is not just about not speaking. It is about not feeding your mind with noise that weakens you. Protect your focus like a treasure. Rule number 5, practice patience and long-term thinking. The Stoics taught endurance, not instant gratification. You cannot build a life of meaning overnight. Seeds take time to grow, and greatness requires patience. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Stay silent, Keep planting, keep watering, and let time reveal your garden. The impatient chase attention, the wise chase mastery. Rule number 6, choose solitude over crowds. It is better to walk alone on the right path than to follow the crowd into emptiness. Stoicism teaches that solitude is not loneliness, it is strength. Use your time alone to reflect, to grow, to sharpen your mind. Silence will reveal things to you that noise never will. Build yourself in private so that when you step into the world, you are unshakable. Rule number 7, live by principles, not by approval. The loudest people in the room are often the weakest because they depend on validation. The Stoic way is different. You don't need approval, you need principles. Live by integrity, by discipline, by courage. When you focus on your values, you become unstoppable. Your silence will intimidate those who live for attention, and your focus will inspire those who are ready to rise. My friends, these 7 Stoic rules are not just ideas, they are weapons for life. Control what you can, guard your silence, stay disciplined. Detach from distractions, be patient, embrace solitude, live by principles. If you practice these daily, you will not need to announce your greatness. The world will feel it. Build your life now in silence with focus. The time for talking will come later, but the time for building is now. Thank you. Life often feels overwhelming because we try to control things far beyond our reach. We get frustrated when people don't act the way we want, when opportunities don't arrive on time, or when circumstances don't bend to our desires. But the truth is, no amount of worry or anger will ever change what lies outside of our influence. The Stoics remind us of a powerful principle: focus only on what you can control and release everything else. When you truly understand this, you begin to experience freedom. You can't control how others think of you, but you can control how you think of yourself. You can't control the economy, the weather, or the actions of other people, but you can control your discipline, your attitude, and your choices. This shift of perspective transforms weakness into strength. Instead of wasting energy on the uncontrollable, you invest it into what matters: your growth, your craft, your vision. Imagine if every ounce of frustration you felt about external problems was redirected into building your skills, improving your mindset, and staying committed to your goals. The world around you may still be chaotic, but within yourself, you would be unshakable. Control brings clarity. Letting go of what is beyond your reach brings peace. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering needlessly. The day you stop trying to control the uncontrollable is the day you free yourself from invisible chains. From that point, Every challenge becomes an opportunity to demonstrate self-mastery. When storms come, you remain steady. When obstacles appear, you respond with calm strategy. That is the essence of power. Not control over the world, but control over yourself. That is where real success begins. Silence is one of the greatest strengths you can develop in life. Too often people waste their energy explaining themselves, defending their choices, or announcing their goals to those who neither support them nor understand them. The Stoics believed that true wisdom is shown not in constant speaking, but in deliberate silence. When you stay quiet, you preserve your energy, and that energy can then be directed toward building your future. Every word you hold back is an opportunity to act instead of argue. Think about it. When you explain your dreams too early, you invite doubt, criticism, or even envy. But when you protect your vision and work on it in silence, no one can interfere. Your results will one day speak louder than any explanation ever could. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It allows you to observe people more carefully, to understand situations deeply, and to make decisions from a place of strength rather than emotion. Remaining silent also builds self-control. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every insult requires a response, and not every situation deserves your reaction. The power to stay quiet, even when provoked, is the mark of discipline. In a noisy world where everyone is desperate for attention, silence makes you different. It sets you apart as someone who is not moved by distractions, gossip, or the need for approval. Instead of proving yourself with words, you prove yourself through action. Let your silence confuse those who expect weakness, and let your focus surprise those who underestimate you. Remember, a tree doesn't make noise while it grows, yet it becomes strong and unshakable. Be like that tree, quiet, rooted, and powerful. Silence is not emptiness, it is where growth begins. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark fades. Most people rely on feeling motivated before they act, and that is why they struggle to be consistent. Motivation comes and goes. It depends on mood, circumstances, or inspiration. But discipline is different. It is the decision to show up and do what must be done, regardless of how you feel. The Stoics understood that self-mastery is the foundation of freedom. A person without discipline is a slave to impulses, distractions, and excuses. But a disciplined person shapes their life with intention, not chance. Imagine waking up each day and acting not because you feel like it, but because you committed to it. This builds habits, and habits build character. Over time, discipline becomes natural, almost automatic, and it pushes you forward even when your emotions resist. Every great achievement in history is built on discipline. Athletes who train daily, thinkers who write and study tirelessly, builders who dedicate years to their craft. Discipline may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but its rewards are lasting. Motivation feels good, but it fades as quickly as it arrives. Discipline, however, creates results, and those results fuel more growth. When you rely on discipline, you don't wait for the perfect time, because you know the perfect time is now. You don't waste energy seeking external encouragement, because you carry your own strength within. Discipline is silent, but it speaks volumes through the life it creates. If you want true freedom, don't chase motivation, build discipline. It will carry you when motivation disappears. It will guide you when distractions call, and it will ultimately turn your vision into reality. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Distractions are everywhere in today's world, and they are designed to steal your attention, your time, and ultimately your potential. Social media, gossip, endless comparisons, and constant noise pull you away from what truly matters. The Stoics taught the importance of detachment, knowing when to step back and protect your mind from influences that weaken you. Detachment is not about running away from life. It is about choosing what deserves your energy and what does not. Every time you give your attention to meaningless noise, you lose a piece of your focus that could have been invested in your growth. When you detach from distractions, you reclaim control over your life. You begin to see clearly which activities move you forward and which ones hold you back. Silence is not only about keeping your mouth closed, it is also about quieting the flood of unnecessary information that fills your mind. True silence means cutting out the noise so you can hear your own thoughts, your own goals, your own vision. This requires discipline and awareness. It means saying no to habits and people that drain your energy, no to gossip that poisons your mind, no to comparisons that make you forget your unique path. Detachment is strength. It teaches you to value your focus as something sacred. When you learn to shut out distractions, you create space for creativity, discipline, and clarity to grow. You begin to live with intention instead of reacting to every noise around you. Detachment is not about losing connection. It is about gaining direction. The moment you learn to filter what enters your mind, you start building a life that is rooted in purpose, not chaos. Focus grows where distractions end, and greatness is born in that silence. Patience is one of the most underrated strengths a person can develop, yet it is the key to building anything meaningful in life. In a world obsessed with instant results, fast success, and overnight recognition, it is easy to believe that if progress is slow, you are failing. But the Stoics remind us that true greatness is never rushed. It is cultivated with patience and endurance. A seed does not turn into a tree overnight. It requires seasons of growth, storms to withstand, and time to root itself deeply in the soil. The same is true for your dreams. You cannot expect them to bloom immediately. You must be willing to wait, to nurture, to stay consistent even when results are not visible. Impatience destroys more dreams than failure ever could. When you are impatient, you quit too early, you change direction too often, and you lose sight of the bigger picture. Patience, on the other hand, teaches you resilience. It helps you endure setbacks without giving up and teaches you to trust the process even when progress seems invisible. Every day of consistent effort, no matter how small, compounds over time into something extraordinary. The Stoics understood that life is a marathon, not a sprint. They taught that enduring challenges calmly and waiting for the right season is a sign of strength, not weakness. Patience also sharpens your character. It makes you humble, disciplined, and grateful for the journey instead of being obsessed with the destination. Remember, quick victories fade, but lasting success is built slowly, brick by brick. Do not rush the process, respect it. When you embrace patience, you begin to see that every delay, every struggle, and every quiet season is shaping you into the person capable of holding the success you desire. Living by principles rather than approval is one of the greatest freedoms a person can achieve. Too often, people shape their lives around the opinions of others, constantly seeking validation and applause. But when you live this way, you are never truly free. You become a prisoner to shifting expectations and fleeting approval. The Stoics taught that strength comes from within, from holding firm to values that guide you regardless of who is watching. Principles such as honesty, discipline, courage, and integrity do not change with the crowd. They remain steady. When you root your life in principles, you gain clarity. You no longer waste time trying to please everyone because you understand that real fulfillment comes from staying true to yourself. Approval is temporary. It fades as quickly as it arrives. But principles are lasting. They shape your character and define the kind of life you build. Choosing principles over approval also makes you resilient. When challenges arise, you won't be shaken by the opinions of others because your foundation is not built on their acceptance, but on your inner strength. This path may sometimes feel lonely, but solitude with integrity is far better than popularity built on compromise. Living by principles requires courage because it means standing firm even when it is not popular, even when people misunderstand or criticize you. But over time, those same principles become your shield, your compass, and your legacy. The silent power of a principled life commands more respect than the loud pursuit of validation ever could. So stop chasing approval. Let your character speak for you. Live in such a way that even if no one claps, you still know you are walking the right path. Approval fades, but principles last forever.